This is a gathering of 24/7 workers in the public service. That is a gathering of nurses, psychiatric nurses, the Prison Officers Association, the Gardaí, the ambulance people, and anybody who, as public servants, have to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week and cover all those shifts. And we're here to oppose the proposal by the government to unfairly cut our pay in an unequal and unfair manner. The message is that we're providing a public service on a 24/7 basis, and that's fine, that's no problem, and we're very happy to do that. But it is very unfair to ask us to unfairly cut our pay more than somebody else who works 9 to 5 Monday to Friday.
Well, I think we're here today because of the unfair targeting of the frontline services of nurses, Gardaí, prison officers, ambulance personnel and fire service personnel, that there's an unfair burden being asked of them. There's about 1 billion, according to the government, to be saved over the next 3 years, and they have essentially said that 170 million has to come off the top of that and has to be borne by the frontline services in the first instance, cutbacks in premium pay and in relation to some allowances as well. There's a huge concern in relation to the negotiations that are going on between the government and the Public Service Committee of the Congress of Trade Unions. For the P&A's point of view, we are not part of the Congress of Trade Unions. As far as we're concerned, we signed up separately to the Croke Park deal in June of 2010, and that deal was to last for 4 years. So we're 1 year and 4 months short of that, and yet at the same time we have the government in cahoots with some of the Congress trade unions to try and breach that agreement 16 months before it ends.
What we're trying to do here, I think, today is to explain to our own people the unfairness and the unjust manner in which these issues are being dealt with. As I've already said, in respect of the position outlined to us by the Department of Justice, that if this is about finding savings, then I think savings could be found. But if it's in relation to the dismantlement of pay and conditions of members of the Garda Síochána, well then that's a different issue entirely. And so therefore my main concern is that we can provide the savings, but people are not interested in listening to that. The problem and the difficulty for guards is that we have to remain inside of the law. But I can tell you this, that there is such a feeling of anger and aggression in respect of how their matters are being dealt with, that it might not be possible to contain members of the Garda Síochána going forward. But as of now, we have to try and ensure that they're informed, that we advise them of the problems and difficulties ahead. And this will be a long and sustained campaign because it might not be that easy to solve. Because already people are speaking about the idea that if you cut Sunday premiums, you can do it with reduced numbers. You can't. The guards at the moment are put to the pin of their collar to provide a service. We have a workforce that's declining. We have Garda stations closing. We have no equipment. And all of this then is an idea and a notion that somehow or other everything is fine. It's not. And there needs to be a radical rethink and a radical reform. And I only hope that the government, if they are serious about this, will look at the notion of where they can save money as opposed to cutting the pay of frontline workers whom have already given in terms of 14% of their pay.